So first, some general things here. Your clever speed on the average is 111 in this calculation, but this may be a bit lower than what you typically see.
That's about right. Yeah.
And then, so this line is elite men's average, including top professionals, college players, and then some teaching professionals. So you are right pretty much at the average here. And then, considering your height, also you are slightly over the average, but so it's still there. So you are generating the average speed here. And then the swing time. Swing time is overall, so this is the beginning of the backswing, and then this is impact here. So from the beginning of backswing to impact, this is about 1100 milliseconds, so 1.1 second.
Okay.
You need to speed up your backswing.
Okay.
And then, so have a bit faster backswing. And also, if you look at the shape of the clever speed graph here, this is time and this is clever speed.
Yeah.
So this is beginning of backswing, this is the top of backswing.
Okay.
So what you see is it's almost symmetric here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means you are increasing the speed of the clever head and then decreasing the clever speed essentially at the same rate. So it's a symmetric here. But I want you to reach the peak angular peak clever speed more on this side here. So in other words, initially you can go a bit slowly, but build the speed so that have a more active backswing toward the end, so that you can have a continuous transition to the downswing.
Okay.
That gives to the muscle the so-called stretch shortening cycle.
Got it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you need to keep this peak about here.
Okay.
And also, judging from the clever speed here, so the clever speed is increasing along this slope and then changes the slope, right? So this usually happens when you have a casting-like action here. So let's go to this front view here, see what happens. So after you reach the top of backswing here, so you're pulling the handle down and then the club is moving away from your body.
Yeah.
So with that, the club speed slowly increases here to this point and then rapidly going up here. So this is more or less similar to casting. It's not really throwing the club head, but because you're pulling the handle down, the club head goes up here.
Yeah.
So it has a similar effect.
I see. I understand.
So what I want to see here is build the climax toward the end of the backswing. So,
Okay.
but you are having pretty much symmetric development of the clever speed. So when this happens here, for the body, you are reaching peak angular velocity earlier. So typically, this comes with the early quick motion at the beginning of the backswing. So we'll have to see it later in the kinematic sequence. And then the top view here. So this is the swing plane.
Yeah.
Calculated from the clevered motion.
Okay.
It's fairly outward here.
Yes. Yeah.
So you have, on the average, 7.3 degrees outward. This is a bit too much.
Yeah, I agree.
And also your hand, this is the hand motion plane here.
Yes.
Calculated from the hand motion trajectory.
Okay.
It's even wider. So it's
that's 12.
So it's even more outward. It's 12.2 degrees. So you do have outward direction gap. That means the hand motion plane is going more outward than the swing plane. So when that happens, the chance of the so-called reverse spiral swing pattern increases. So let me show you this one here. So this one here, this is along the swing plane here. So this is the swing plane, straight line here. And then during the backswing, you tend to initially lift the club head relative to the swing plane here. Lift this, that means your hand is low, but you are just lifting the club head. So instead of moving the club head along the swing plane here, so if you focus on the club head motion, then when you start, you will be able to move the club head, but what you're paying attention to your hand motion here. When your hand goes a bit flat here, you're lifting the club head, then this happens. Okay? So hand follows this line here, the club head is slightly lifted. So it'll start from a steep path here, but eventually it goes flat here.
Yes, yeah.
And then I want you to move the hands and the club head a bit more away from the swing plane here. Go a bit higher.
Okay.
Okay. So if you try to keep it a bit too low here, then actually you're restricting your body motion. So when you have, keep the hands and the club a bit higher, you're freer.
I see.
So your arms can move more freely than this one here. So you're restricting the motion. So as a result, because you go flat, your right elbow here is way below the swing plane here. Typically, when your swing plane is reasonable, your backswing is reasonable, then the elbow follows the swing plane.
Got it.
So the elbow is a good indicator of your swing plane.
I see.
When you move actively here,
So get the elbow
throw
off
the club
plane
head.
line.
Yeah, throw the club head here. When you move the club head, then the elbow naturally follows the swing plane here. On the way down, you're slightly shallowing, but the club mainly follows the swing plane here.
I see.
So you have a good feel of where the swing plane should be, and then on the way down, you try to swing the club along that swing plane. But in this case, the elbow is going a bit lower here than the swing plane. That means you keep the right shoulder, trail shoulder, lower here. You see this line here. So you need to keep the shoulder more this way here.
I see.
Or so when you bring the hands a bit higher and bring the shoulder line like this, then you'll be able to bring the hands a bit higher. Then the elbow is right on the swing plane.
I see. All works together, right?
Because of this, and then when you start going down here, you have into out.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
So then on the way down, you see, go up here, and on the way down, from there, your elbow is going further down. With that, you have this into-out path here. So it's a severely into-out, as you saw earlier. So this is aligned along the swing plane, but if we align this just down the line here, this is what you see here. If somebody is standing behind you, and watch your swing, then you see, so from here, it looks like you're moving the club head correctly in the away direction here. But you're keeping the elbow low here. So from there, when you come down, you're pulling the handle down with the arms here. So with that elbow goes down this way here. Then you're going into out.
I have to go that way.
So when you bring this up here and bring it a bit higher here, from here your goal is to throw the club head more toward the target here. Instead of go flat here and then bring this down. Then you're going outward.
But I got to get it in the takeaway, right? So like you're saying that I like my hands go low, but I push the club out that way.
This is relative to the swing plane. But if you put this in relative to the down the line here, then the club is actually moving. Club head is moving okay. But once you go up here, then this path has to go this way here, and the higher path and coming this way instead of going low here. So this part is the main problem. Once you start this, and then you're going a bit too flat here, with that right shoulder is low. And from that position, when you start, if you bring this down, then this is coming down and then going out.
Going way out,
Because if it's coming down here, then the body blocks this, so you cannot really turn this way. Unless you go more this way here and then turn, then that's okay. But because you already it's a low and you're bringing this down here, that the only way you can go is going outward.
I see. Okay.
So that's what I see here.
Okay. That makes sense.
So this part is a bit too flat here.
Yeah. That's
And then, so you have a small deviation of the curve head from the swing plane at the top here. So the curve head is about here. So you are intentionally lowering this and intentionally sort of laying off. So if we look at this from this direction here. And also another aspect is part of the reason why you go flat here is because you are turning to the right too much.
Okay.
If you look at the pelvis rotation here, this red line here is the pelvis rotation. This is elite man's average.
Oh, it's like 70. Am I the red line?
Mm.
It's like 70 on the
You're rotating a lot more. So as you can see here, you're rotating quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because you are turning this way too much, that even if the arm motion relative to your chest is reasonable, but if the body turns quite a bit here, it goes backward more, and it becomes a flat here. So it could be because of the pelvis motion here.
Okay.
So when you turn pelvis this much, okay, it's about 70 degrees, let's say, then your shoulder is overturned here.
I see.
It's too much.
Okay.
And then because of this in the back swing, you're taking more time. But instead of turning that much, just throw, and then you have to image the curved path here, so that starting from here, you throw this in the away direction, let it go to this position here. So keep that path in the imaging, and then your goal is to move the curved actively to that position instead of turning to the right too much.
I see. So just throw the club up
Yeah, and then
instead of turning
just
back.
let the arms and club go, and then go to that position instead of try to turn quite like that. This over rotation.
Okay.
So that's why this path becomes a flat, because on one hand, you're moving this up here, but your body is turning a bit too much, so then it moves the curve around this way here. It goes flat. So you're too flexible, so you're turning a lot.
Need it more like Fred Couples, eh?
That's a bit too much.
Too much?
It's going a bit too much.
Too much?
Too much.
But that's the right idea, right? Like up
So-
that way?
So keep the left hand below your
Yeah.
elbow here. From this position, imagine that this is the swing plane here. The hand is moving along the swing plane.
I see. Yeah.
Then all you do is just move the elbow to this position, then bend the elbow, then you are here. That's all you need to do in the backswing. But if you turn this much, automatically it goes flat.
It goes flat.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just need to do this.
So you need to have the image of absolute, the feel of absolute orientation of the swing plane that you want to generate. Okay, so this is the swing plane here, from the ball to midsection of your triangle. So at the setup position, it passes through the elbow here.
Yeah.
So that's the swing plane. This is the swing plane. And then if you move this along that plane here, you are going up here and then slide shallowing, and then just throw the ball. Then the cleavage goes more toward the target here. So if this is your swing plane, you have good feel of swing plane here, okay? Because the elbow is flexed now here. So this actually shows the swing plane here. If you maintain this swing plane and go up here, if the elbow stays on the swing plane, you're going more to this position here.
Yeah.
You want it to go more than that.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Just like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all you need.
That's all I need. Yeah, simple. That's good.
Then-
That's why I came.
Then if the backswing is done correctly in the right direction, then overall you are oriented correctly here. On the way down, you just let it go, then the club more goes toward the target
Towards the target.
instead of going into out quite a bit.
Yeah, okay.
So you need to have you have your GPS system,
Yeah.
and then you get the signal here, and you have to know the orientation of your body.
Yeah, I see. I just picture like
Yeah.
like that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just go.
Exactly.
And then this doesn't turn too much, right?
Not much.
That's good.
That's good enough already.
Yeah.
And then bring the hip up, the right hip up here. Yes, like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Up like that? Hit,
Yeah.
okay.
Then you're ready to go.
Oh, then I'm ready to go down.
Yeah.
I see.
But if you turn too much, then the hip has to move backward quite a bit.
Yeah, then it goes like this.
Yeah.
And out, right?
They're going out. And then you have to flip
Then
this.
flip it. Yeah.
So when you look at this image here, if you look at the hand pad comes this way, and then you're flipping quite a bit here. You're lifting it up.
Yeah, big time.
That's why you have a large clever deviation from the swing plane. So these are all coming from your over rotation.
Yeah.
And the pad is a bit too flat. And from there, when you start to bring this down, naturally you will have to go into out, and in order to, sort of compensate that, you try to flip.
Just to get it online. Yeah. Just do it with flip in the face.
But still, as you see, the club head is moving to the right quite a bit.
Yeah.
So this is a huge bias here. And then,
We got to straighten that out.
so this is the impact here. Still, the direction of the club head motion is more to the outside, to right. So you have to have good throw spin. Otherwise, oftentimes you have block shots.
Yeah.
Even today, when you are hitting the ball, some of the balls hit the wall and then went this way here. That means you have tendency of block shots.
To block it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, block or hook.
Yeah. And then in order to prevent the block shots, when you try to bring this in by lifting, you develop a low hook.
Yeah. Quick. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's because of the direction of the swing plane. More than anything, you have to bring the direction more toward this way. Maybe about 2 degrees out, that's okay for the driver condition. For the iron, just pretty much aligned toward the target.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you reduce this angle here, that is a lot easier because you can just throw the hands toward the target. The club head is also moving in that direction. Boom, here.
I see.
So it's easier to control the direction.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So that's what I see in the swing plane here.
Okay.
And then for the center of mass motion here, so center of mass of the whole body moves away, goes up, goes diagonally down and up here. So this is the whole body center of mass. This is the center of mass of the pelvis in the frontal plane.
Okay.
Now, so you reach the high point here. This is the pretty much the high point. So the center of mass stays up here. And from here to 8, which is early downswing, where the club becomes aligns vertically here. Yeah? So from here to here, you have to drop your center of mass more.
Okay.
So your center of mass has to be somewhere here. It should be lower than the initial position. You have to allow your body drop, then go down here and then push. But instead, you're not dropping enough because you're busy of just turning around.
I see. Yeah. Okay.
So this has to go down a lot more.
Yeah.
And with that, you should have a natural push up here. And then the pelvic center mass has to go down more.
Okay.
But in your case, because when you have severe into out swing here, then your pelvis just slides to make a room here so that your arm can come to the forward position, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So you just slide here, so there's no time to drop and then kick.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So this is also related to your tendency of into out swing.
Yeah.
So when it comes in this way here, then you have to just slide the pelvis to make the space.
Just like action reaction, right? So if I change this, get this up, and then I can
Drop and then
drop
kick,
it and push
kick,
up a
throw.
bit. Yeah. Okay.
So the swing becomes a lot simpler.
Yeah.
And you can maintain the swing plane a bit stiffer here because it's not going flat this way. Then you can emphasize the up and down motion a bit more. But if it goes around the flat here, it's hard to introduce the up and down motion.
I see. Okay.
So this has to be dropped a bit more here.
Yeah. Okay.
So when this does not drop here, then eventually we will see in the force pattern, you don't have enough unweighting, the so-called unweighting. So we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So if we look at this motion again, so turning the body quite a bit here, and then the pelvis has to go toward the target quite a bit here to make a space here so that your arm can come forward. When this also happens, this is so now your body is going up here while you're pulling this down here. Then at impact, you will have unweighting, so almost you're jumping. So what happens is you slide here and your body is going up while you're pulling this down here. This is quite common among junior players.
Yeah, it is. I'm not a junior anymore, though.
This is one common issue in junior swing.
Yeah.
Instead of using the lower body and then to throw the club head, they're coming this way.
Yeah, always. They'll kick it out like that, right?
Yeah. So you have to change that pattern, early from your junior players.
Okay.
Yeah. So this happens. That this is going slightly up. The pelvis slided quite a bit, and this is going up here. You're pulling this.
I see.
Then oftentimes, because this pulling is too much here, sometimes your foot is turning.
Yeah, it just spins right out.
Because you have to come this way here and then try to pull all the way here. Then this has to turn that way. So instead, if you go a bit higher on this side here, from here, you just drop and then throw.
Okay.
That's all you need. But if you're coming this way here, slide it here, then you keep pulling, that this has to turn.
I see. Makes sense.
So the main thing you need to change is the direction of your backswing.
Backswing, yeah.
And go a bit higher here.
Yeah, and then just drop a bit and then throw the hands down.
And just to let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
So it's important to develop the right direction of the swing plane.
I see.
So again, back to the pelvis motion here. So you have over rotation this way here. And then at impact, your pelvis is not rotating that much here. So on the average, if you look at the elite male golfers, turn this much and then turn this much here. So it's fairly balanced. So the amount you turn this way, and then at impact, you have a similar angles here. But in your case, you have bias to the right.
I see.
And also, more importantly, if you look at this 5 and 6 here, 5 is when you finish the pelvis rotation. 6 is the club transition point. These are happening quite close to each other. So the time gap between these two is called the transition phase. You have a really short transition phase. So you're just turning all the way here and then pretty much transitioning at the same time here. You're starting the rotation in the opposite direction at the same time.
I see.
Because if you don't have that much time gap here, normally in the transition phase, pelvis goes first, thorax, shoulders, arms, and club, sequential transition. But you don't have time for that sequential transition.
I see.
Then when this happens, you have a clustered transition. So pretty much these body parts are starting, turning this way almost at the same time. It's simply because you have too much turn, over rotation here.
I see.
And then this is lateral tilt. So this motion of the pelvis here.
Okay, yeah.
This is okay. And then, another one is this one here, the blue line here. This one is up and down motion of the pelvis.
Okay.
Remember earlier I said that you're not moving the pelvis down enough.
Yeah.
So the pelvis almost stays, okay, the same height all the way here. So this is the top of backswing. But during the backswing, you don't have much up and down motion of the pelvis. This even continues early part of the downswing here. And then suddenly this goes down and up here. You have an abrupt motion here. So instead of just having continuous motion here, go up and then drop and then keep. So you go here, turn, and then suddenly try to drop and then push.
I see.
That puts a burden on the little side here.
Yeah.
The timing is not right.
Okay.
And also when this happens, generally your ground reaction force becomes large It's too large. It's unnecessarily large. When the ground reaction force becomes too large, then later at impact, you will see severe unweighting. So let's go to that here. So this one shows, here, look at this. So the middle graph is the ground reaction force. The blue line is the force acting on the trail side.
Okay.
Green is the force acting on the leader side.
Okay.
Then red is the combined force.
Okay.
Now, so at this point here, you have a lot of push from the trail side, and then good unloading on the leader side here. But this timing is a bit too early. This peak has to happen after 2 here. 2 is when the club is horizontal. After that, you should have a peak trail side push here. This is happening early. Remember, I said you have early quick action.
Yeah.
Because of that, club head speeds up and then slows down. Similarly, so it has a symmetric shape here.
Yeah, I remember. Right? Yeah.
If you want to have a peak, the peak speed more toward the end of the backswing, then this has to be delayed here.
Okay.
And so because this happened early, so what happens after that, even the force difference decreases here up to this point, and then increases again here. Now, in this, what happens is, during the backswing, let's see, up to this point is okay, so you have more force acting on the trail side here. But once you pass this point, you will see that the ground reaction force becomes vertically upward. The total force will be upward, and then the force will stay near the center of mass of the body. The red dot is the center of mass,
Yeah.
as you see here. The force arrow is upward.
Straight. Yeah.
Because the horizontal component coming from the trail side and the horizontal component coming from the leader side are equal to each other. They cancel each other.
Oh,
Then the total force is only vertical here.
I see.
But still, at this stage, when you continue this motion, this force, the center pressure should be here. The forces should be inclined toward the target. But
Okay.
this becomes straight up because you have a lot of spinning motion here. When you just turn around about the vertical axis, because the horizontal components are the same, so they cancel each other. But you need to actually have a good lateral interaction with the ground. Then at this point, the center pressure will stay here, and then the force will show an inclination like this
I see.
toward the target.
Yeah, that like back foot will lean out.
Yeah, but from this one, later you will increase the force on the trail side here, right? So you are now pushing again with the trail side here.
Okay, yeah.
Then this starts moving toward the trail side, but still this distance here from the center of mass to this force arrow is not that long here. This is called the moment arm. So the torque, so this graph down here shows the length of the moment arm. Moment arm times the force is equal to the torque you generate
Okay.
in the frontal plane here. And then this is elite man's average. Your maximum happens here, but this is way too late. Okay, and then so this is the top of action. From here to pretty much here, you must have a large torque generated, but
Okay.
it's not, because your moment time is relatively short here.
Okay.
So again, during the backswing, pretty much the force arrow is upright. And then later, so this force difference is decreased, and then it's increasing again. So with that, the center pressure shifts this way, and it shows inclination, but still it stays close to the center of mass. This separation is the moment arm. Moment arm times the force is equal to the torque.
Okay.
So you must generate a good amount of torque here at the top here, because this is the beginning of the downswing, right? So then at this point, you should be able to generate a good amount of torque already,
I see.
but it's not much here because the moment time is not that long here.
I see.
So this is, and then this longest moment time is achieved here. This is the longest momentum. This is severely delayed. This longest momentum actually has to happen at the top of action.
That should be the longest momentum. Okay.
So at this point here, you should have a good inclination of the force arrow so that you should have a good momentum here. So this means your backswing and downswing are not well connected. Why? In the backswing, you have early quick rotation, then slow motion here.
Got it.
Because you're just turning around. But rather, when you throw this way here, in one piece motion, actively throw and go to this position and then going down here, then you have a lot better connection. So your backswing will be faster. With that fast motion, you're continuously going into downswing without early quick motion and then hesitation here.
Got it.
So normally what should happen is, in the vertical direction, we have active push and unweighting. So this is one body weight here.
Okay.
So this force is a bit larger than the body weight. This is called active push. After that, the force goes below the body weight. This is called the unweighting.
Okay.
Then after push, we have unweighting. This unweighting should be continuous, but you are going back to body weight here because you don't have much to do at this point here. You have early quick rotation and simply rotating here, so you don't need to do anything in the vertical direction. So it's just it's not much unweighting, and then you are just staying close to the body weight. And then once the downswing starts here, then you realize that, oh, your body is not ready. Then try to introduce this unweighting here.
Ah, okay.
So this is severely delayed. This peak has to occur actually at the top of action here. Okay, but this is severely delayed.
Yeah.
And then you are introducing this sudden unweighting here. With that, you are pushing the ground hard. So your maximum force is good. It's too much.
Too much.
So let me change the scale here. Currently, the maximum is two times your body weight, but I will change it to 2.5.
So I'm getting two times my body weight.
Over 2 times your
Over
body
two
weight.
times, but at the wrong time.
So
I see.
it's too much, actually.
Okay.
And then also the peak force occurs about here. The peak force occurs about here when the club is aligned vertically upward here. This is when you have a peak force. And after that, force decreases. But your peak force keeps increasing and reaches peak here. This is late. Then what happens after that is at impact here, the force goes below your body weight. So you have unweighting here because you pushed it too hard here.
Oh.
This peak force is not really used in generating torque, but in your case, because your peak torque occurs here, that means that this is a force dominant pattern. So you are generating peak torque by using peak force, but it's too late.
I see. Okay.
So the peak torque should happen about here. So this is the right timing here, or a bit earlier. But for that, you must have a long momentum and then also good amount of force. But you see how long it takes from top of action to this unweighting peak here. So you are wasting this time. That's why I said you have a casting-like action. So during this period, the club head speed is increasing, but it's not from active body motion and then try to speed up. Rather, still your body is not ready here, so your body has to introduce its own rating late. Then try to kick hard. So this is too much push, and then you have unweighting at impact here. So this is why you pull this, and then the body is already moving up, and then try to pull it this way.
Okay.
So you are maintaining your junior swing pattern.
Yeah, it's never changed. Huh.
Yeah, so the peak torque has the torque at the top of it should be a lot higher. The peak torque should occur early. So with that, you're generating early acceleration of the body. Then just simply let the club go.
Okay.
But because you're pulling this all the time, dragging.
Pulling it back.
Yeah. So you have a late onset of unweighting here. with that you can, although you can generate large force, which is way above 2 times your body weight, this is too much. When this force goes more than like 1.9 times your body weight, it's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah. I don't know. The guys using S2M type of force plates,
Yeah.
I don't know how they state this, but oftentimes they just try to say that you need to generate a large force,
Yeah.
but it's too much.
Oh, okay.
And most it should be between 1.8 to 1.9 times your body weight.
Okay.
If it exceeds 2 times your body weight, too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And then what happens when it's too much? You're going to actually lose speed.
You jump, you jump and you just pull the club with your arms.
Okay.
Instead of using the lower body here and then try to generate this turn here,
Yeah.
throw, rather.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because you get the force up, but then this all gets messed up. Okay. Yeah.
So this is too much force here.
Okay.
And then also the timing is late. The peak force should occur about here. This peak unweighting should occur around the top of action here, and then going up here.
Okay.
So even though the force is really large here, is sharp, the peak is sharp here, so the area under the curve is not necessarily that large because it's really sharp and coming down quickly here. So although your peak force is large, the area under the curve is called angular impulse. That's the accumulated effect of force, the torque exertion.
Okay.
So your goal is to generate large area under the curve.
Okay.
And then if you start early and generate good amount of torque early here, then this area is called the angular impulse here. But because at top of action you don't have much torque generated, and it continues here. So early on, if you look at the average torque here, it's way below the man's average, maximum here. But you need to keep this close to this line for a while here.
For longer. Okay.
So that is because your backswing quick early action
Yeah.
and your next action in the downswing, these are too much separated. Okay, because this is a bit too early here. So rather, you have to build the climax toward the end of the backswing, as if you are angry here. So, and then you try to go down here.
Okay.
That way you can better connect the backswing to the
To
downswing.
the downswing. And then that should take care of this.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have this early quick action here, and then this much time here.
I see.
So when you speed up the backswing, then this time here will be shortened here. So you'll be able to eliminate all the hesitations. Okay, and then go back to let's see what happens to the X factor here. The X factor here. X factor is obviously torsion separation between the shoulder and hips here.
Yeah.
So here, the blue line is the X factor.
Okay.
So about here, the X factor is 0 because these two lines are parallel to each other.
Oh, I see.
So 0 X factor here. And then after that, X factor keeps increasing. Now let me turn off these two here. The red line is the pelvis rotation angle. This green is the shoulder rotation angle. The difference is the X factor here.
Yeah.
I
see.
I'll
Okay.
turn these two off here. So this is the X factor here. You see your X factor keeps increasing up to this point here, then suddenly plateaus here. So it's not separating anymore.
I see.
Then you actually lose the effect of separation. The separation should be continuous all the way to the top
Okay.
here. So you don't need to have this rapid increase, but what's important is a gradual increase all the way, continuous increase all the way to top of action. And then this has to start going down here so that the shoulder turns in the opposite direction relative to the pelvis early on here. But what happens here is, because about here the slope changes quite a bit, and it almost goes flat here, then you lose the effect of this separation in the backswing because you have too much time there.
Okay.
Because you had the early quick action, quick turn here, and then
and
slow motion here.
pull.
Yeah. So you lose that effect. Then almost no increase in the X factor here, particularly during the transition phase here. Then when this happens, your body by instinct knows this, knows that you are not quite ready to go down. Then, and also because of the lower elbow position, you have to slide the pelvis this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the pelvis slides, then it also opens. So with that, you have a little bit of increase in the X factor here. So the maximum occurs here.
Okay.
And then a lot of people say this is good, but actually this is the sign of a poor backswing here.
I see. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
It's because your body is not quite ready, then you have to do something additional. And so slide this and open and try to increase the X factor a bit more. But this means that you have poor backswing. If you have an active and continuous backswing here, then you have a continuous separation. When you reach the top here, you have enough separation. And then going into...
then I can go into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then this has to come down this way here. But you are taking a lot of time at the beginning of the downswing because your body is not ready. And then since the elbow is here, you have to slide the pelvis away so that your elbow can move this way. So you have a lot of things happening here, which does not quite help the speed generation.
No kidding. So you think I can swing it faster if I get this going that way, hey? Nice.
So more than anything, you change the direction of the swing plane,
swing plane, yeah.
the backswing, and then from there, you also have a faster backswing motion,
Yeah.
and then connect it to the downswing, then you will see very different speed.
Yeah, I think so too. Nice, okay.
So in the downswing, this should happen. So when you use the legs actively here, and then if that leg action helps the upper body turn, then this will happen. Swing through here instead of.
I see. Yeah, okay. So I just got to get this so it's slower and then get more angry like as I go, right?
So build the climax toward the end, and then
go down forward.
From there, so you go up here, and then your goal is to from here, and then throw the hands in front of your body.
Okay.
Instead of pull this down.
Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Eh?
Yeah, throw the clevet. Yes. Then you will stay on the later side here instead of almost jumping.
I gotta go faster.
Yeah. So as if you are using the lower body, when you turn and then hit something here, instead of body goes here and then try to do this.
I'm still doing this, eh?
No. When you have a intentional practice, you can quickly change that.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
Okay.
Once you direct your backswing correctly,
Yeah.
so from there, really build the tension in the muscles, and then going into downswing, then the hands comes this way instead of coming this way. This is the cause of all the problems.
Yeah.
When you are here, you have to slide away.
Yeah.
And then with that, you can push the ground hard, but it's not well translated to promotion of the upper body turn. So if your junior player is doing this, you have to change those.
Yeah, right away. Yeah.
It's one common problem among junior golf swing.
Yeah.
I actually had a seminar last December in Thailand.
Yeah.
The topic was biomechanics of junior swing.
Okay.
And then I showed people the common issues and also the issue about the club they are using. Mostly the reason why junior players are developing this type of pattern is typically they are using club too heavy for
Too
them.
heavy for them, right?
You have to drag it here.
Yeah.
In order to drag it, your body has to go,
That way, so you can.
and then you have to pull this. So oftentimes it's connected to the club they are using.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, they need like.
So perhaps it may be a good idea to have a seminar for your junior players and the parents and the coaches involved in your junior team.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
because
think
when I looked at the junior players only, whoa, what is going on here? A lot of outrageous swing motions.
Yeah.
Some common issues, which is this here.
Yeah, totally.
And then when I looked at the club numbers, I couldn't understand what's happening in these days. Junior players tend to use the club too heavy for them.
Yeah. Lots of young girls
sometimes
like
too
that,
long.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Particularly junior girls, they are not strong enough, but the club is as heavy as the ones used by PGA Tour players.
Yeah, they're too heavy.
I'll give you an interesting story. So one week I had a junior player, a girl about 15 years old.
Yeah.
And then her swing pattern was dragging. And then when I checked the club numbers, it was outrageously high. And then that previous week, Ben Crane was here. And then so I had his club numbers.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember Ben Crane's club numbers were not as high as hers. So I went to my office and pulled out Ben Crane's and I compared those. She was actually using club heavier than what Ben Crane was using.
Heavier?
And then she was dragging.
Dragging it. Huh.
So it was a kind of interesting situation. So I asked the parent, why are you using this heavy club? And then, well, the club feeder gave her this. Always the answer is club feeder.
Yeah, we get a lot of that. Like the kids will go to like a company for club fitting, and it's just generic club fitter who's done the online course for training, and then the kids come up with equipment that's just not right.
And then
way too heavy.
Last week I had a professional player, lady here. And then she was hitting the ball with three fairway wood. And then she was not handling that well, so the ball was going to the right.
Yeah.
So I asked her to remove the extra weight on the head. So the swing weight went from D 1.52 to a C, 2 or something. So the swing weight decreased quite a bit. Still, she was not handling that well. So I asked her to chalk up the club and started hitting the ball a lot better, and then she was bombing it. So with the 3 wood, she was hitting like a 230,
Oh, that's
230
good.
yards. And she was so happy because she never hit the ball that far with the 3 wood.
Yeah.
And she was using club too heavy and also too long for her. And then I removed the extra weight, asked her to chalk up.
Yeah.
Then she was hitting really well. So it depends on the golfer.
Yeah.
Generally start with the lighter club, easy to swing. Start from there. When the golfer can handle it well, then you start increasing the weight a little bit.
I see.
Okay? And then perhaps increase the length a little bit. But you never go with the heavy club up front. It just dictates the swing pattern. So this guy tends to drag it.
Yeah, it'll just force them to do it. They'll figure out the easiest way to do it, right? The body will, or the
So when you
mind
drag
anyway.
it, then you don't feel the heaviness of the club.
Yeah.
And then also, when the club is heavy, then they cut the backswing short. Because when the club goes horizontal here, that they can really feel the weight of the
head
club
go
here.
that way.
So
Yeah.
then they tend to make it a bit shorter.
I see.
But if the backswing is short here, then in the downswing, usually what happens is the body, where it goes here, and then drag this.
And then drags it. Yeah, I see.
So then the hand goes inward, the club goes outward. That can also happen with that. So
Okay.
this is a common problem in the junior players.
That's good to know.
But in your case here, so pretty much you're losing the continuous separation here.
Yeah.
So then certainly X factor stays the same, then you are already losing the effect of backswing motion in terms of stretch shortening cycle
I see.
and so on.
I see.
And then you are increasing it a little bit again. So from here to here, you're wasting early part of downswing here. Then the shoulder starts catching up here. Okay. But this is after your pelvis, slid away.
Yeah, it slid away. Got it.
So this is what I see in the X factor here. Now kinematic sequence here. It's all clustered here.
Yeah, it's way too tight.
Because you don't have much time in the transition phase here. So you turn all the way here, and then from here, you pulling everything at the same time here. That's why these are all clustered here. And then with that, you have tendency of early release of the wrist here. As I said, you have a pattern similar to casting. So this pink line here shows the wrist angular velocity.
Okay.
And then it goes above the axis here. That means that this is the beginning of the uncocking.
Okay.
So you are starting uncocking early, right after the top of action. And then this uncocking hesitates a little bit, and then keep going here.
Oh.
But still it's an early uncocking here. Then the wrist angular velocity is below the man's average.
Oh.
But if you bring this higher, then the club angular velocity goes higher here.
I see.
So you're generating part of the club speed is your hand velocity here. So instead of using the angular motion, you just keep pulling. With that, you're adding the speed to the club head.
I see.
So that's why your speed is at the man's average, right? But in terms of the angular motion, rotational motion, it's not fast enough. The club is not rotating fast enough. It's because your wrist angular velocity is not enough.
I see.
When you let it go early, it's hard to generate the good angular velocity later.
Yeah.
So you have to keep this the club close to your body and then let it go. Then you'll be able to generate good amount of wrist angular velocity here. Then club angular goes up, then you'll have higher speed.
Yeah, it'll go way higher, I think.
So currently you are relying on dragging here instead of letting the club head go.
Letting the club head go. Yeah, makes sense. Well, if I let it go with that swing path, it's going to hook big time, right? That's why I don't let it go.
It's
drag
coming
it.
this way, and then when you let it go,
Yeah.
then it promotes low hook.
Yeah, low hook. Not fun. I see. Makes sense.
So that's what happens. And then,
Okay.
as we talked about here in the frontal view here, you have early action here. And then from here to here, pretty much nothing is happening. No excitement here. But actually, you have to build the excitement toward the end of the backswing. So build this, and you get angry, and then you're going down here. Then you have better connection between the backswing and the downswing. Then this peak unrating occurs earlier here. And then when you have also, you are angry here, then you have more separation between end of pelvis rotation and the top of action here. So you have a longer transition phase. In this, you have a sequential transition.
I see.
And also during the transition phase, you can work with the ground a lot better. Then the torque increases rapidly up here.
Got it.
So this is your pattern. And then let me show you, here's another one here. The angular momentum here. Oh, it's interesting here. So look at this. So this is angular momentum of the body. This green line is angular momentum of the body. Red is the total angular momentum. Blue is angular momentum of the club. And then here, so from this point on, your body loses angular momentum, right? So with the club gains angular momentum. But at impact, your club does not have that much angular momentum here because you failed to give enough angular momentum to the club here. Okay. Now, let me show you another pattern which will inspire you quite a bit. So I will close this, and then this is Grant weight.
Okay.
So you will see a very different pattern here. So in this one, as you can see, the peak occurs here later. So if this is the middle of the backswing here, the peak occurs here. And as you can see here, in this one, it's more continuous increase here instead of initially go this way and then start increasing rapidly.
I see.
So you don't have
Straight up.
that hesitation there, right? Because he has a fairly short downswing time here. So he's not wasting the early part of downswing and then just to go into acceleration right away. And so this is 5, end of pelvis rotation. So this is pelvis transition point. This is the club transition point. They are better separated.
Yeah.
That means he has a longer transition phase time. And then he goes above the man's average here.
Yeah.
top view. Both are fairly
Yeah, it's pretty straight.
parallel to each other.
It's even a little left.
Yeah, better aligned toward the
Yeah.
target here. Swing plane. Now in the backswing, you can see that the club head stays on the swing plane that go above here, a nice looping motion and then coming down here. So actually, at top of backswing, the hands and the club head are more deviated from the swing plane. This is okay. Don't be afraid of bringing this up. There's no point to keep it really one plane here.
Okay.
I think this is allergy season. So.
Yeah, it's coming, right?
So bring the club head, if you image the club head pad here, so starting this way, and then this is the target position. Go up in one action and then drop a little bit, then you have a nice looping motion like this.
Okay.
Instead of going flat and then try to do something. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
this is the best shallowing pattern that I've seen. So it's not any, there's no any unusual motion here. Just simply moving along the swing plane, and go slightly above the swing plane, and then looping motion and coming down here. And then center of mass here, it drops more here. It's lower than the initial position. And then the pelvis rotation here, this and this fairly well balanced here.
I see.
So I will change the range here. So this is man's average here. So fairly balanced.
Yeah.
It's not turning too much. Yeah. And then this is up and down motion, but gradually going down and then up here. Instead of staying here and then suddenly try to bring it down here for the pelvis motion. And then X factor, continuous increase all the way to top of action.
I see.
So again, I will kill the first, these two here.
Yeah, he goes like to the top of the hill and then down the hill. There's no flat ride at the top.
So
I see.
keep increasing and then quickly going down here. That means he's not wasting any time at the beginning of the downswing.
Got it.
Because he doesn't have to slide the pelvis because of this here.
I see.
And then kinematic sequence, pelvis transition, club transition, so wide here, and then you have he has a sequential transition here. The transition sequence is really important. And then, in order to have the club peak here, okay, if you look at the body peak angular velocities, then those are happening almost in the middle of the backswing here. In your case, because you have early quick action, the body peak angular velocity occur here early. The club, is in the middle here. You have a true early quick action, and then slow turn all the way. And then look at the elbow, the wrist motion here. So still maintaining down cocking here, and the uncocking starts here. Instead of near the top of action, near 7, when the lead arm is parallel about here, it starts uncocking.
Okay.
This is severely delayed here. So with that, the angular velocity, the wrist angular velocity increases rapidly here.
I see.
It's going above the man's average. The club angular velocity goes above the average. So he's using good rotational motion here. And then, in the frontal plane here, you see, so in his case, push here, this is happening slide after 2, slide after the club goes horizontal.
Yeah.
And then peak push from the trail side occurs later, about here. Okay? And then before that, when he starts the backswing, he actually has more force acting on the leader foot here. So at this point, he has more force acting on the leader foot. Using this, he's having active backswing here. Then, could push from the trail side here, and then could push from the leader side here. So the peak force occurs about here. And then it stays under 2 times your body weight.
I see.
Because he's not pushing hard, So at impact, still the ground reaction force is above the body weight here. No unweighting here. Okay. And then more importantly here, he has a continuous unweighting instead of staying close to the body weight, hesitating here. It's a continuous unweighting all the way to this peak unweighting here right after the top of action. So then reaches the longest momentum early. So you see at the top of the backswing, at the beginning of the backswing, he already generates this much torque. The same to elite man's average maximum here.
Oh, I see.
So during the transition phase, he's generating good amount of torque using the backswing. Then already starts from this level here. From here to all the way to about here, in this phase, if you look at this area, here's a large area here, large angular impulse. The average is close to elite man's average maximum.
Oh, okay.
Usually what happens is you have this peak coming down here. But although your peak is here, but if you look at the area, it's way below on the average, way below that line. But because he's generating good amount of torque, he maintains that here, even goes above, and then although he goes down slightly here, but the average is equal to elite man's average maximum.
Wow.
So then the peak force occurs about here. So no more increase in the force after that. So no need to push the ground that hard later here.
I see.
Okay. Then at impact here, the torque becomes about 0 here, close to 0. In your case, it goes below 0 here, so going in the opposite direction. So this is when you have good swing pattern, not exaggerated on this side here. Just throw this way here.
Just
from there, try to throw the club head. Then the swing becomes a lot easier. But you can use the ground a lot better with this.
Okay.
So this is a big difference, compared to yours here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, I don't think so.
So since many of your junior players will share the same issues,
I think so.
so
yeah.
we can actually change the whole thing.
I think so.
So let's plan some a seminar clinic. So I have a full day event. So in the morning I have 3 hours of presentation. So I can talk about the characteristics of junior club swing. In the afternoon we can have a demo and clinic. So how to develop good rhythm and then or better timed swing motion, things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if the team wants, then we can have individual sessions maybe the next day.
Okay.
So you need to talk to the team US, team Canada.
I will.
And then let's come up with something.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.